Signing out, ES News, Ande Emilio, and why?
I wanted to put on a show, first of all, but wanted to make sure that people enjoyed the fight, one, and he didn't really feel like Brook could hurt him. With Jacobs, it's obvious with 29 knockouts out of 32 fights that he can punch. So depending on what happens in the first couple rounds, Golovkin will see if Jacobs is a threat. If he's not a threat, then hopefully we can get him out of there. But he won't be reckless, if that's what you're asking.
Have you already, let's say, chosen, sparring partners for the?
I use the same sparring partners for almost every camp.
Which guys?
I have Julius Jackson that will be coming to camp.
Chef.
I have Paul Mendez from up north. I have Keith McNeil from Alabama. Keandre
Gibson?
No, I think it's Keandre Lattimore or Leatherwood. I'm sorry, Leatherwood from Alabama also. So John Jackson's always coming to
of course.
Coming to camp also. So they're all tall guys. They're all just like Danny. They can punch. So it's just a matter of getting Golovkin in the right frame of mind. Now he's focused because this guy's a threat. In the past with Brook, like I said, he didn't feel like Brook was that much of a threat, so it was a little different kind of fight for him.
What's your prediction, let's say? 7 rounds?
You know what? I think that the guy that lands the first shot is going to win the first significant shot because they're both good finishers. They're both, if one of them gets you hurt, they're going to put you out. Like Jacobs proved that with Quillen, and obviously we've seen that with Golovkin. But I think Golovkin, I don't think the fight goes past the 8th round.
Do you see this as a bigger threat, let's say, than when you face David Lemieux, who was a puncher?
Absolutely. David Lemieux was a plotter. David Lemieux was a guy with big, heavy hands, but
slow feet.
But just wasn't the IQ. Like as you heard me say, I don't think it was here, it was in the back. The difference in the IQ of David Lemieux and Jacobs is immense. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that he's got not only a history of great amateur history, but also as a pro. He's been able to outwit a lot of the guys. Lemieux did it with raw strength and power. Danny's done it with brains.
Abel, a lot of times I see Gennady throw this left hook. He throws it from all different angles, like the one he hit Rubio with. It was like coming down. Is he hitting it with the side of his fist, or is he?
He's actually trying, for that shot, he's actually trying to hit him with this area. But I like for them to throw it like this because I don't like for them to hurt their thumbs. But my favorite fighter of all time was a guy named Alexis Arguello. And Arguello used his left hand, and like I like to use, my guys to use their left hand in a lot of different ways. So
different angles,
he practices from different angles. We practice it in the gym from different stances, different angles, different leads, let's just say. And yeah, whatever presents itself. He saw that Rubio had his hands up, so he couldn't hit him in the chin. So it's still legal. It's still a legal shot.
Yeah, and you know what? Triple G reminds me so much of Chavez Sr. when I see him in the ring. I don't know if he does with you, but when I watch him, the way he methodically breaks people down and then takes them out in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round reminds me so much of him.
Yeah, when I first took him on, I showed him a video of Chavez versus Rosario.
Oh, yeah?
And I told him that I promised him that if he gave me 3 years, that I would convert him into this kind of fighter, except the difference would be that he has the power to knock people out with a body shot. And Chavez was more of he just wore you down.
Yeah.
And I've tried to mold him in the Chavez mold. Yes, absolutely.
And that was the one thing about Chavez. He had a long winning streak, over 80 wins, and then he ran into Frankie Randall. And Frankie Randall gave him some trouble in the ring, got frustrated mentally. Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's why this fight is dangerous. That's why this fight, now that we're getting to this level, obviously everybody has seen Golovkin and everybody has got tape on Golovkin and everybody is trying to dissect Golovkin. And Danny has got the tools to be able to do it. Whether he can handle the strength and the power and the pressure from Golovkin is what remains to be seen.
But in this fight, you do not want Gennady to square straight up and take flush shots like he did.
Absolutely not. This is a real threat. Yeah. And because he's a real threat, Golovkin is very focused. Golovkin was in camp in November and he didn't have a fight. He started camp on the 2nd of the day after New Year's. He was in camp that Monday. We've had this to do, but he's going directly back to camp on Thursday when we get back.
Thanks, Abel.
Thank you.
We saw him do some boxing when he fought Lemieux, going back to that fight. But you said that Jacobs is smarter than Lemieux. So what kind of fight do you think we're going to see?
I hope that we see two guys in a chess match hitting the hell out of each other, because I think that as a fight fan, that's what I want to see. I'm tired of the wrestling. I'm tired of the mauling. I want to see two guys go at it like they did 20 years ago. 25 years ago, when you saw Duran fight Hagler, when you saw Duran fight Sugar Ray Leonard, when you saw all those guys going at each other, not holding and not clinching. If that's the case, then whoever emerges from this fight will be considered pound for pound the best fighter, because we're going to see a fight, not a wrestling match.
Right. But when we saw him face Kell Brook, he got touched up, and a lot of people were criticizing him for that. You think some people just got some confidence? I mean, maybe for this fight to get made?
No, I'll tell you, nobody got confidence, because Danny was the only one to step up, and the only reason he stepped up was he got that great win against Peter, and then the great win against Mora, and the WBA mandated it. But nobody else was willing to sign on the dotted line. You can only do so much to get somebody in the ring. You can't force them to fight Golovkin. And if they won't, then we got to take whoever will. But in my opinion, we have never discussed this, but he may have just made himself look vulnerable just so guys would step up. I don't know. He did that against Monroe. He did that against Dominic a little bit, Wade. But we'll see on the 18th if Danny can do what they think he can do, and if he tries, if he stays in there and fights, like I said, we're going to be treated to a good fight.
Which Jacobs are you expecting? The one that blitzed Kid Chocolate Peter Quillen and just came right to him, or the boxer?
No, I'm expecting the guy that fought Pirog in the first 4 rounds.
Okay.
And he got caught with a shot that he went down, but I think Robert held him down. He could have got up. I don't know why Robert held him down, but I'm expecting that
was
Jacobs.
winning that fight,
Absolutely, he was winning. And it's boxing. You get caught with shots all the time. Golovkin, you just told me, Brook touched him up. So that's the Jacobs that I'm expecting, because he's got the tools. Man. He's a very, very good fighter.
So being that their knockout ratios are almost identical, I know Gennady's your fighter, but just from the outside looking in, who do you think hits harder?
Well, Golovkin hits harder than any light heavyweight out there. And if you talk to anybody that sparred with him, Darnell Boone, who's fought everybody, says he's probably the biggest puncher he's ever been hit by. Everybody that he and to go further, he has never hit somebody 100% in a fight. In the gym, yes, not in a fight. Excuse me. Muchas gracias. Coco, you ready? Yeah. Okay. Excuse me.